Hey guys, coming at you today with a keto product taste test, along with a tutorial on a quick and easy cheese sauce that you can use for a keto mac and cheese, or a queso dip, or a dip for maybe some delicious keto soft pretzels. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alycia and I'm a pastry chef. I've been a chef most of my life and now I own a keto gluten-free bakery, and I'm here to show you all the tips and tricks on how to make the best recipes possible. So if you enjoy my videos, please hit the subscribe button down there. It helps me out a great deal and it doesn't cost you anything. Give the video a thumbs up, leave me comments, and share with all your friends and family. It all helps my channel grow and to bring you new videos every Saturday. Today, a product I have been bombarded with on Facebook, and I've been wondering if it's any good. And I just so happened to be on Thrive Market, and it was on sale because I took a look at the website and stuff, and I was like, it's kind of expensive, and I don't know if it's any good. I didn't know much about the product, so I kind of looked into it a little bit. It is a little high in carbs, for keto anyways, with 6 grams of net carbs for a quarter of the 8-ounce box, so 2 ounces. But I looked into it more to like kind of compare the ingredients and stuff to some other options. And it is pretty similar to Perfect Keto's mac and cheese, which they have discontinued. I always bought that and just doctored it up myself for a side dish every once in a while. And it's kind of similar to Aviate pasta, which I haven't tried, but I know Serious Keto, I believe, has tried it and liked it. So I might have to try that against this at some point. Let me know down below if you'd like to see that video. But Aviate was a little bit cheaper. So we'll see if this is any good, how it cooks up, and how it is in keto mac and cheese. I already have some water boiling on the stove, or simmering anyways, and we'll get this cooking, but we want to make sure we have our cheese sauce ready for when the pasta is ready. So we're gonna get going on that. A lot of times when I make mac and cheese, it's usually a clean out the fridge type of thing, because we always have blocks of cheese and random ends of cheese packets and stuff left. The last time I made this, I used like 8 different cheeses, I think. I'll put down a list here of like cheeses that are good for mac and cheese, but most of the time it's mostly cheddar. I usually try to put some kind of very stable cheese in there, like an American, or I have a little bit of a sharp white American called Cooper cheese, which I love, and we usually get it sliced at the deli at Walmart. I have mozzarella that is shredded that I need to use up, but you don't want to use too much mozzarella because it can get too stringy, but you can put a little bit in there. But most of the time, I just use cheddar. This is an extra sharp cheddar and a reserve white cheddar. I'm starting off with a little bit of the Kerrygold spreadable butter. We always just have this out on the counter. It is just butter. It's no like bad oils or anything. So a couple tablespoons in there. I like onion in my mac and cheese. You don't have to put it in, but when I make a box mac and cheese, which I usually use Annie's or Bonza for my husband and my son, I usually put dried minced onion and garlic powder in the mac and cheese. That's what I've always done. I'm gonna turn this on low to get that butter melting. And when I say I usually just use up whatever I have in the fridge, I never measure. And I never even measure the cream usually. If I have extra, I just save it and use it for something. There's always a use for some cheese sauce in the house. Just a quarter of a small onion. You're just gonna saute that, add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're gonna add some heavy cream to it. The last job I had, we literally would heat up a huge pot of milk and cream, whole garlic cloves, shallots. And as soon as it was boiling, we took we have a burr mixer, like a hand immersion blender, but a huge one. You just put it in the pot, turn it on, and throw in hunks of mostly Velveeta, but then a bunch of other cheeses too. We never measured anything. We just threw it all in, tasted it, made sure it was thick enough for our pasta whenever we needed it, which it was usually for a banquet or something like that. I'm gonna use a spoon for now, but I'm gonna use a whisk when we go to add in all the cheese. This is gonna be enough to fill a 8x8 casserole dish. So I'm gonna grab that now, give it a spray. Like I said, I don't usually measure. I'm gonna measure out 1.5 cups of cream, and you want about 2 cups of cheese sauce for 8 ounces of pasta. You can also do half chicken stock, half cream, or if you want to use milk of some kind, you can. Milk is just higher in carbs. But if you use chicken stock or chicken bone broth, that'll cut down the fat and carbs a little bit. I usually eat 1 meal a day and don't usually worry too much about the carb count because I'm usually eating steak, veg, chicken, veg. These are gonna cook more too, so you don't need to worry about cooking them a ton. I think I'm gonna do 2 cups because I wanna have extra. You wanna bring that to a simmer before adding any cheese in there. Don't mind the yellow stained cutting board. Van and I might have dyed some eggs with turmeric. That stuff stains. I'm gonna crank up my pasta water and let's read the instructions on here. Bring a large pot of salted water to a boil, add 1 serving of pasta and stir well. Who's cooking 2 ounces of pasta at a time? If anything, even if you only wanna eat 2 ounces, you're gonna cook it all. That way you just have it in the fridge for what you need it for. At least that's me. I don't like doing things extra. Only 5 to 6 minutes. Strain well, rinse and serve. So it doesn't take very long. So maybe I'm not gonna turn up the water just yet because I wanna have this pretty much done then. I am gonna turn on my oven to like 450 because I'm gonna put some extra cheese on top and broil it up real good. You can definitely make this the day ahead and then bake it covered low and slow for a while and then take the top off to broil it up. I'm just here to say too, I am working on pasta because I feel really bad for all those people that have a tree or peanut allergy because my stepdad cannot eat this or the perfect keto mac and cheese or the Aviate because lupin is a legume. So he cannot eat this pasta. Same thing, he can't eat like peas, so like pea protein is out. So a lot of times I don't like experimenting with a lot of different flours because a lot of them people have allergies to when it comes to like the beans and tree nuts and peanuts and stuff like that. It's all very complicated. I mean, he's older and still doesn't know everything that could cause a reaction. He just stays away from pretty much all nuts because he never knows like how allergic he'll be to something. I want to figure out a pasta without any nuts or legumes in it. Okay, so we're simmering away. I turned it down a little bit. You just add a little bit at a time and you whisk. So this is 8 ounces altogether. This is 3 and this was 1.5. So I'm gonna start with this because it's just a little tiny bit that was left over. So use that up. And once you start adding cheese, you don't want it at like a rolling boil anymore. So you don't want it to break on you and separate. But that's what the processed cheese helps with, is cheese sauce breaking on you. Add it little by little, keeping it just warmed at a simmer. And shredding your own does work better. A lot of times if you do have some bagged cheese, it will get a little bit grainy in there from the anti-caking agent, but I have used it in conjunction with like freshly shredded and it's been fine. I just don't suggest using all pre-shredded cheese for cheese sauce. Another handful in. A lot of times I don't even shred it, but I just cube it or chop it up. But it does take longer that way because the pieces take longer to melt. Add in some of this mozzarella. I do have more cheese if I need it too, so. See, the mozzarella gets kind of stringier in there. You want this really, really thick. Add in the rest of this cheese. Okay, so we do need a little bit more cheese. I'm gonna turn this down pretty much all the way and shred some more cheese. Keep whisking every once in a while. I'm gonna shred up the rest of my extra sharp yellow cheese because right now it's not very yellow. Throw in that little hunk. Guess I should have just used 1.5 cups cream. This is what almost always happens. I have to keep adding stuff to it. I always make more than I need. Put in the rest of the mozzarella. So that was 16 ounces of cheese. It's looking good. I got my water turned up to high back there, so we're gonna get that pasta going. Once this is done, I can bring the pasta up here and we can see how it cooks up. This is what happens when I try to measure. If I would have just eyeballed it, probably would have been the right amount. That was another 4 ounces. Put this in. I forgot my husband bought Kobe Jack and Gouda. I actually might just cut this up. I'm gonna turn it way down. It's almost there. It's getting pretty thick. This is why most YouTubers test before they shoot videos. You can also just slice it. But there's really nothing to know except for just add cheese until it's a super thick sauce. And I'll show you the consistency you're going for. There was another 2.5 ounces I cut up. Gouda's gonna add a good flavor to it, so I'm glad I saw that we had that. I feel like Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring. Almost thick enough. Add in the rest of this. I guess my husband's got to go shopping for more cheese. Another 2 ounces. Okay, I added in the last of the Gouda. It is pretty thick. Sometimes I do it even thicker than this though. This is good cheese sauce for dipping and stuff like that. But when I make a cheese sauce for mac and cheese, I usually go really thick because you might be introducing some water to the mix when you add in your noodles. But this is good for a cheese sauce for dipping and stuff. If you're gonna add salsa, definitely add some more cheese to it to get it thicker than this. I'm gonna set this on the back burner and bring the pot of boiling water up here and get that pasta cooking. That can just chill back there until we need it. I thought I bought the shells, but apparently I bought ziti. I feel like I wouldn't pick ziti. I thought I got shells, but this is not my first choice of pasta noodle for mac and cheese. Okay, it's boiling. Let's drop this in. I had already salted the water. Give it a stir. I have a 4 ounce ladle here, so I'm gonna measure the cheese sauce as I put it in. So once it's boiling, boil for 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, set a timer for 5 minutes. I looked it up on Amazon on Subscribe and Save. It's like $9 a box, which is crazy. So if you see it on sale, maybe go and grab it if it's good. We'll see. Just check their website. They're selling boxes of mac and cheese for $10 a box. Someone actually mentioned this in my lasagna video. So that's why when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab it and give it a try. Because it was $5.99, which is expensive, but not as expensive as some other things you can buy. I always check it a bunch because I worry about overcooking these pastas. Definitely not done. Normally when making mac and cheese, you want to go a little underdoneness because you're throwing it in the oven to cook longer. But if this doesn't start falling apart on me, I'm going to take it a little bit further, I think, than 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes. Flavor is very mild. Sometimes I've heard lupin flour can have that weird smell to it. It's almost done. And I'm gonna drain it now, rinse it. Made sure to shake it out real good over there. I'm even gonna keep it in the warm pot and kind of try and dry it out a little bit so it doesn't get soupy with our cheese sauce. As this sits, it gets real thick. We're gonna have a lot of extra cheese sauce to eat up. I do have Banza pasta. I can make my son and husband some mac and cheese too. Save the keto one all for myself. Okay. That's dry enough. I'm gonna taste one plain. It said mild flavor, which I think it's good cook-wise on it. So I did 4 ladles, about 2 cups of cheese sauce. Give it a mix. I don't want to use metal on this, that's why I'm using a ladle to mix. I did taste this for seasoning, by the way. I didn't say that, but it was plenty salty with all the cheese in it, so. Looks good. See how it is after it cooks up a little bit. I'm not gonna shred any more cheese, so I'm gonna grab some pre-shredded cheese, put on top. I know it has anti-caking agents and mold inhibitors and all that, but we shredded all the other cheese ourselves. I'm gonna bake this about 10 minutes at 450, and we might give it a little broil if it's not getting brown on top. Be back to do an official taste test on that pasta and see how it holds up to cooking in a mac and cheese. It's all nice and bubbly. Pasta looks like it's browning. Cheese, not so much, but I didn't put a ton on. You'd have to really load it up in order for the cheese to get all brown on top. I want to wait for this to cool a little bit because I do not want to burn my mouth, and it'll get more solidified when it cools a tiny bit. It looks delicious. Hopefully the pasta held up and it tastes good. Okay, so we had about 3 cups of cheese sauce left. So like always, whenever I do anything, I always make more than I need. But if I go to reheat this, I'll put a little bit in a container, 50% power in the microwave or very low heat on the stove to reheat it so that it doesn't separate. It still might separate. You might be able to add a little bit more cheese to make it come together, but that kind of happens sometimes when you reheat cheese. It doesn't have a bunch of gums and stabilizers in it and stuff. But I did a little bit of calculating. 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, about 12 ounces of shredded cheese would be enough for this entire thing. And that adds about 3 carbs per portion, so 9 carbs with this pasta. I'm only gonna take a bite, but this is my portion for dinner tonight. That's about a portion, I'd say. Let's see how this pasta tastes. It is pretty similar to regular pasta. Maybe a little bit more gummy than regular pasta, but it is very similar. Not a lot of flavor, like I said, when I just tried it plain, and it held up to cooking in the oven. Not too bad. Try not to eat all this before dinner. It's a pretty similar recipe to AV8. The only real difference is AV8 uses tapioca fiber instead of tapioca starch. So I'm wondering if that's why AV8 is a lot lower in carbs, because AV8 for the same amount is 3 grams net carbs. So let me know if you want me to try the AV8 pasta, and maybe I can pit it against this one and see which one comes out better. They're about the same price. AV8 is a little bit cheaper on Amazon, but this satisfies my craving for mac and cheese until I can find a better alternative, which has proven to be very difficult. Crispy top on it is delicious. Is it worth the price for me? I'm not really sure. I did used to buy the keto mac and cheese from Perfect Keto. It's nice that I can make whatever I want with this, not just mac and cheese. But maybe a once in a while thing when it's on sale on Thrive Market, I'll grab it. But other than that, I'll keep trying to make my own keto pasta recipe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little keto product review video, along with a little tutorial for your own homemade cheese sauce. It is delicious for so many different things, especially my keto soft pretzels. Don't forget to check out my Amazon shop page. The link is down in the description box below, along with the blog link to the cheese sauce. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I'll be back with more keto, low carb, healthy meals, desserts, and snack recipes and tutorials. Bye guys. Happy keto cooking. What do you think of the mac and cheese?